Um, so yeah, we've been betrayed and left for dead. Now we're in a boat. It was developed by Arcane.
This is the one who was with the Empress when she died. Poisoned. Tibian stuff.
Amateur work. He'll live.
That's up to Dowd.
Oh look, my hand is trailing in the water. How romantic. Nice of these guys to steer my boat. Yeah. Oh, I'm in a box. It's 5:30 too. Well, I guess we'll get to explore this level shortly. Hunting's always been lesbian. Oh, look, everyone's working for the outsider here.
Bodyguard.
That
I
must
recognize those marks on your hand. A gift from your friend. The one who talks to you in the dark. Talks to you when you visit his shrines. I visited those shrines too. And I know what it felt like to shove a blade into your Empress. But I don't know you. Who you are, and who you fight for. You're a mystery. And I can't allow that.
No, my fancy sword. Now I have to use an ordinary sword that doesn't fold up. Okay, wow, we're back in the outsider zone.
Here you are at last, in a ruined and drowning world, held captive by the man who killed your Empress, the assassin Daud. Your friends poisoned you and dumped your body in the river. Did they do it to protect themselves, so no one would ever know what they'd done? Or was it because they were a single move away from controlling an empire, and they knew you'd never let them manipulate Emily? Maybe none of these. Perhaps that's just the nature of man.
I mean, I think the reason they betrayed me was genre conventions, but what do I know? Oh, I should have read that out, but anyway, you know what's happening. So I'm not dead. Why didn't they cut my throat or something? Well, okay, they're doing. Is this the bit in Half-Life 1 where you get shut in a thing and you have to fight your way out? Right. Okay. This is dumb. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Okay, I still got my... They didn't even take away my heart.
They butchered the deep ones here, breathing in the rich stink of their enchanted flesh. When the seawall broke, many strange things were drowned and forgotten.
Okay, here's a bounty note from me. Dard. Finding Corvo in possession of that mask could have been an elaborate frame job, but now the newly minted Lord Regent Havelock is announcing to all the city that he is proof linking Corvo to the mask fell on. The bounty is 30,000 coins, but if Corvo truly is the masked felon and is responsible for all the things the wanted posters accuse him of, I expect the bounty to double. Because we have him alive, we should be able to barter for even more. Regarding Slackjaw, we watched him for a week, and when we were ready to make our move, he suddenly disappeared. Maybe he left the city.
They bring the bodies here with rough hands in cages. Some of them are still breathing. The water is so cold, and it is the last thing they feel.
Blade Runner was the new Blade Runner, definitely had some really intense scenes there. Okay, so there's an Assassin's Blade and an Overseer's Saber. There's one. Apparently so I made a choice there, I guess.
These waters are greedy. They will never give back what they have taken. Even the terrible floods were not enough to wash away the sorrows of Dunwall.
I think they left with Brian Hagfish for me. Masked felon, enemy of the city of Dunwall, endangers all who live in the city of in the Dunwall city, across the island of Bristol. The offences of this man are high crimes, and edicts of our brave Lord Regent. Well, I killed the Lord Regent, but still. Anti-Ledger. Brunigan, eliminated for 1,500 coins. Szilard, location unknown. Elizabeth, abducted, delivered, 2,000 coins paid. Booth, eliminated, payment refused. Employer, eliminated. Unknown masked man, revealed to be Corvo. Slackjaw, location unknown. Corvo, in custody, to be delivered alive. If we didn't, put him in a thing made of, rotten planks that are completely useless at keeping anyone inside anything. This is a musical device that the Overseer has strapped to his chest. While it was functioning, we were unable to perform transversals or tetherings. I suggest we all get a good look at it. Interesting, so there's terminology. Is that the one I was in? No, and they've got an Overseer here. I don't know why I jumped in this hole. That was silly. I can still put it away, so... Anyway, so I guess I'm going to have to fight my way through Dauds building now.
The doom of Pandacia has come to the city.
Read that already. I guess these are just standard on the river ones. Well, okay. Yeah. I could have done better, but I guess I had just been, left for dead and all that. The Brigmore job. Ronaldo. Fucking Ronaldo. Do the job as you were told and do not question my planning again. Yes, the woman who meets the woman in the ruins of the Brigmore Manor possess abilities like our own, and they use poisons administered by Dart. But just as you share my ability to blink across space through the transversal trick, you also inherit my resistance to some toxins. As I told you when you first joined us, it is another of my gifts that whoever serves me loyally shares in some of my power. This may or may not aid you against their poisons. The leader of the Brigmore Witches must pay for her betrayal. If you succeed, your share will be enough to build a fine home in Sarkonos in your old age. Assuming you live. I mean, gun blades are cool, but I think on a practical level, wouldn't it be more useful to have a sword and a gun than a sword that is a gun? I don't know. What do I know about swords or guns? Also, I guess I should obtain that DLC. This looks like I have to drop. Do you think they'd leave, more than one person to guard me, or more than like 2 people to guard me? But I guess they figure that they've got the same abilities, so it's like equivalent. I mean, I probably can't get the DLC because I don't think I've got much in the way of money right now, but I'll have to see how much it costs. Also, I should get the Ratiers. Probably as I spent most of my money on that capture card last week, so... according to Ada, you'll all rather have Ratiers than the capture card, but... I guess I don't know my audience well enough. Unfortunately, because I have my own copy of Dishonored, I can't use Family Share to access your copy. What is the vibroblade concept? Like, is there any actual, like, you know, material science basis for things cutting better? For goodness sake, I've got to fight a one of those damn colonies of thingies, barnacle thingies, rivercrest, that's the word I'm looking for, without a gun or a grenade or any useful thing like that. I know in the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games they introduced vibroblades and it's used to like making melee characters useful before you obtain a lightsaber. Oh. They're not going to open up unless I walk in front of them. Hey nerds. Oh. And they've all got, you know, delicious pearls inside. You know, all that money to spend when I can't visit Piero or anything. And yeah, I guess so. Ah. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We've got enough money. Oh hey, grenades. That was satisfying. I'm sure I'd be better off using those grenades on a human target, but... yeah. Yeah. Very sensible. Oh, okay. No, that's one of those zombie dudes. Oh. Damn it, rats! Why are you more interested in me than like the fucking Zombies. Zombie corpses. Oh yeah, wait. I remember it was because the zombies were like more, like... Oh no, they are eating the zombie. Oh wow, okay, and now apparently I used up all my Piero. Oh, is that because of poison that Piero is less effective? Wow, so many zombies! Oh wait, it's a guard. Oh no, it's a Weeper. Are there more Weepers here? Because I've been so bloodthirsty throughout the whole game. I wonder. At some point I am of course going... Wait, was that Piero? Oh no, Pocky Watch designed by Piero, of course. At some point I am going to have to end up streaming Final Fantasy VII Jupiter, but... Definitely rewarding you with a lot of money drops here. Okay. These are living people, aren't they? Oh, there's a bone charm there. These people be? Is that in an emulator or in the version they have on Steam? Need to be able to get up there. And there's no reason you should, like, you know, even an old laptop with integrated graphics should be able to run a PS1 game on Hicken, surely. I don't know. Some of the other emulators might be faster, but less accurate. No reason you should have any problems then. I wonder if this pistol I just picked up from this overseer has got all my cool pistol upgrades. Well, narratively it shouldn't, but mechanically it might. Got an achievement, food chain, assassinated an assassin. Very good. I need to change my order of things. I got all the gun upgrades, so I think I must not have the upgrades. Because, yes, careful about the diegesis if nothing else. Oh, fuck. Not very strong, these assassins. Guess I'm not playing enough high enough detail. Map of the slave routes. I guess, I mean, well, slavery is a thing in this game. I wouldn't be surprised. It is, you know, dark Victoriana, but the central red shore. Don't think there's anything particularly worthwhile up here. There's something down here. Doesn't look like it there. God. I have the best audience. I know you will say that. Other streamers are missing out on these amazing Nietzsche references. Right, Central Red Shore, here we go. Oh yeah, I can read this out now. Betrayed and poisoned by Havelock, Martin and Pendleton, you've awakened in the ruins of the flooded district, where the assassin Dauds has you under guard. Dowd, whatever. Recover your gear, confront Dowd, and find a way out of the flooded district. And if you have the specs, it ought to work, right? That's a gun, just in case you didn't get a gun before. Yes. Yeah, right. Hey, did you know we watched this guy? Like slaughter half the population of Dunwall. Well, how about we get on his bad side? That seems like a good plan. Shit, he saw me. Oh. Oh, phew! Oh, very good. Very nice. I know, I figured. Oh, fuck. Wow. Kicked me into the water and then shot. That's just out-assassined. Unfortunately, I got more hit points. Yep, the teleport and kind of cool enemy, really. If they had more hit points, it might even be challenging. Oh shit. Oh, okay, let's let me check. I think it depends on what like stance they're in. There's dodge space, so I guess I've missed the yeah, my gear back here. Thanks for pointing that out. I lose my fancy sword and stuff. Like, I think it depends what animation your enemy is in, whether they'll get any dodges. But wow, it's all the way back here. Like, I think that's my interpretation, because like, under certain circumstances, only certain enemies can dodge. Like the sort of the guard lieutenants could dodge, but not like the rank and file. And but like certain animations they can't dodge. I could be wrong about it. Like, you know, this is just my guess, best guess. I don't tend to, you know, be very good at like guessing whether or not they're able to dodge me or not. It's lighting oil refinery. Oh, I'm being goobered at again. Yeah, there's barbed wire, but not quite everywhere. Oil tank dispenser. Might be a puzzle. Only attach completely empty tanks to the pump. Do not remove tank as it is filling, only fill one tank at a time. If oil makes contact with skin, wash immediately. Sound advice. What happens if you put a full tank in the thing? I know it's a cliche by now, but I do like killing God in video games. Something very satisfying about it. That's a rune. It's lying about. Oops, I forgot my rune. Ah, damn it. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Yeah. Hey! Hey, Martha. We're playing an academic study on the history of whaling in the Victorian era. That's totally what this game is. Oh my god, everything wants to kill me. Aww. Remember to keep the stair in the up position at all times unless it's a shift change or an emergency. Failure to do so may result in damage to equipment and or loss of life. In the event of an actual emergency, main power will be shut off. Use the backup receptacle to your right to restore power to this control panel. Yeah, not charged. You can tell it's not charged because it sparks. That's how logic. Yeah, that's a space that hasn't really been explored in games, a whaling game. It's games that sort of, and I guess sort of Sunless Sea has you on an old steamship, and you fight big sea creatures, but it's not really a game about whaling. Okay, here we go. So, first step. We have a puzzle to solve. First step, dispense an empty tank. Second step, we figure out where to get the oil from. Here's a place to get oil. Fill up the empty tank. I see what you're getting at. That's not unreasonable. Right, so now I've powered up the stairs. Well, that's a very elaborate piece of technology to you could just, you know, route the stairs somewhere else, but what do I know about stairs?
They butchered the deep ones here, breathing in the rich steam of their enchanted flesh.
I think we've heard that one already, haven't we? Oh, hey, that bone charm right here.
When Seymour broke, many strange things were drowned and forgotten. They bring the bodies here with rough hands.
Yeah, I've read
Rough
this.
hands in cages.
We have heard all
Some
this.
of them are still breathing. The water is so cold, and it's the last thing they feel.
So I assume the Empress in life didn't have this affinity for whales, but I also think this is presumably...
Why would you come back here?
Hard to say, but we should watch the streets. We'll see him from the rooftops.
All right. If nothing else, we can cut him off at the market.
He can't
Okay.
get through the rail station without the key.
This one is resourceful. He'll find a way.
Okay, well, that was a nice little enemy conversation. Very neat. Let's check for enemies. we need to power this up. There's some empty tanks here behind this grating. Turn off dark vision because it's kind of hard to see. We can't get in there though. On hunting whales. These new ships made by that Sokolov fellow made life easier than it was in my youth, I'll tell you what. Ere it was, we were at the mercy of the winds. Nowadays, when the engines get up at first whale sign, and there ain't time enough to roust the boys from their bunks before you're on the herd. We kill out the biggest bastard we can lay eyes on, and the pilots drag us out from the circling brutes. And them things groan and bellow across the water like they're calling to each other. Men below so you can feel it in the hull. But when the harpoons go in, the beast cannot make for deep water no more. Once it weaks from lost blood, we launch the hook boat and put chains into the tail. Then the winches drag the bastard backward up the chute and into the rigging overhead. There you go, Moby Dick, Dishonored Edition. I've already read that. Agrees well. I think we may have read this one already, but you're right. In the early days, when the ships brought in the great dead whales, men would slaughter them and reduce their blubber to oil in massive vats on the banks of the Wrenhaven. Small crews maintained their own vats, with workers specialising as fire tenders, slicers, gutmen, haulers, or strainers. Inevitably, once the demand went up, the businessmen moved in, wooing the best crews with promises of better pay and safer conditions. The warehouses went up at the edges of the Rudgel financial district almost overnight. None was more organised, or, as some would say, more ruthless, than the Greaves Whale House, opened by Ebenezer Greaves himself. The Greaves Whale House grew rapidly, absorbing rivals until it dominated the trade. At its peak, the operation employed over 300 workers, not including the children who filled minor and often tragic roles. Those associated with the refinery were recognisable by their head-to-toe industrial leather uniforms and the masks they wore to protect against the fumes. Nice to get some facts. It's great. Yeah. Capitalism higher. You know that like visual novel Racketeer, where you're like the proprietor of like an RPG supplies shop, and you had that whole capitalism ho line that was everyone found very funny. Where am I going with this? Yes, I mean, it never implemented sort of like something about capital, wage labour, exploitation, something Marxist, and that's a very interesting point. I'm going to shut up now. I tell your shift captain to assign a maintenance berk for every shift. The conduits keep shorting out up here. At least authorise us to put a whale oil canister in the backup receptacle next to the bridge to keep the power flow steady. We're Greaves Company for crying out loud. You'd think we'd be able to afford an extra one of our own oil tanks. Or if you need me to make it simple for you, with no power, the bridge stays up. If the bridge stays up, we can't access the refinery pit. No pit access, we can't do our jobs. Plain and simple. I suppose I could try and carry an empty pot all the way up here. I feel like it should be possible to get those ones in there though. Yeah, it's almost like it's not designed with ergonomics in mind so much as adventuring. Getting a barrel up all the way up here would be a pain. What am I missing? We've got the oil dispensers here. Oh, that's a wooden. I'm gonna say it's just a wooden. Yeah, we can just. That's wooden. I didn't notice that conveniently made a wood thing. I like that how they even have a receptacle here in case you accidentally blow up all the tanks and can't solve the puzzle. Okay, here is the pit. This is where Dauds interrogated me or whatever. He didn't really bother interrogating me, he just kind of... Who was that guy that I just... As a Weeper, okay. I don't need to regret strangling him. Oh yeah, I should do that. It'll be interesting. It'll probably just explode, but... Hey, there's one of Dauds' masks hanging. Oh, that's right, one of the whalers' masks. Did I read this one? Yes, I did. You know, whales have tentacles. Wait, maybe I didn't. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance in physiology. On the second level of the trip, east of Tivia, the crew hauled aboard a female some 42 feet in length. I estimated she weighed 35 tons, and the ship sat low, rocking from side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the massive tentacles around her mouth. Within, I found row upon row of teeth and a baleen running along the upper jaw. Through this broom-like structure, I assumed she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. We definitely did read that before, so I don't know why we're reading it, why it's marked as no-headed to your journal, but whatever. I hope no one, Martha, you haven't watched the stream before. I'm playing a high chaos route because it's considerably easier, which is to say, I'm not worrying too much about trying to play non-lethally and stuff. So, hey! Wait a minute. Who's this guy? He's a... Did this guy get infected with the, plague? Well, this is the guy... That's not... Is that Dauds? Nope. Damn it. Did I kill him? Just a Weeper. He's wearing that red uniform, and I think that's just a guard uniform. Wait, that's the High Overseer. Shit. But wait, I killed the High Overseer. That can't be right. No. Oh, the High Overseer, you're right. Shit. Well, so much for killing him non-lethally. Sorry, you're right. I confused the High Overseer and the guy, the Lord Regent. Okay, let's find out what happens. When No, it's got to be empty. You can't fill a full tank. Damn it. Oh, damn it. That did not hit the rats. It's nice to have like an infinite supply of high explosives. Holy shit, that would be such a cool thing to have in a game. Jackie, we should make a game where you can make a whale homunculus by putting too much oil in a can. Well, that's one way to deal with rats. Okay, right, I lost one of these. I think there's a living river cross still. Yeah. Not for long there isn't. Oh, really? Oh, haven't I killed? That one's still alive. I think that's dead. So I take it streaming Final Fantasy 15 wouldn't be of very much interest to you all, but sounds like 13 might be a good choice. Did I get? Yes, I did. Oh, they locked me in. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't even open in the first place. Oh well. So, I mean, there's not much point trying to lock me in when, you know, I've got literally magic powers, but as they tried. What is a good sort to blink up to? It's not triggering the climb onto roof symbol. No, just don't mind me standing on top of a narrow sign. Got good balance thanks to the outsider or something. I have to check for any important loot I missed. Nothing close by, so let's just accept that I probably got anything relevant and get out of here. Oh, overseer's warning. The assassins sprung their trap as we tried to cross the narrow bridge. At that choke point, they were able to pick us off one by one. We thought we could draw them inside, or our greater numbers can make more of a difference, but it didn't matter. Now I'm the only one left alive, and I feel that slipping from me minute by minute, so I decided to write a note. Please, if a second group attempts to come through this way, beware of that bridge. They are listening for the sound of the door opening. Keep an eye on the rooftops. Even a small number of them is more than a match. Wow, okay, it's lucky I didn't open the door and just teleported over it, like, yeah. Right. More grenades. I have to give me one of these grenades. I need to make sure they replenish my supplies. More river crusts. Bloody river crusts. Anyway, I got all my cool gear, so that's nice. Possibly a bit noisy. Corvo fights all the river crusts. Actually, wait, I can use grenades here. Ooh. A bit too much damage from that. Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 was alright. I mean, it was very BioWare. Like, I never played the version with the original ending. I played the edited ending with like the. I bid you, I bid you safety and courage on your expedition. The assassin Dauds and his cultist followers are commonly known as the Whalers, due to the oil worker masks they wear. Oh, right, that's one of the masks. Beware, for Dauds may possess power and resistance beyond expectation. Tread with extreme caution. Their infamy is well earned. They are based inside the Chamber of Commerce, building in the ruins of the central Regicide. All roads to this area have been blocked, with the exception of the elevated rails. Find the rail station in the Regicide market. March carefully, for the cultists undoubtedly employ spies to watch the route. I don't have such strong feelings about Mass Effect 3, frankly. Like, it's decent what it is. I mean, I think the plot shows signs of straining because they got the whole idea about the Reapers being what they were, and the whole AI will always rebel thing, like after they'd already written the first game, so it kind of, the plot strains a bit to adjust to the new meta plot, but honestly it doesn't make that much difference. Oh. Another rail station office key. Gotta go. Yeah, I think like it would have felt more satisfying if all your various choices throughout the rest of the game had more bearing on like the outcome, like because it would, because you know all that stuff about like helping the Klingon planet, Klingons, they're they're not Klingons, find peace or whatever. Programs, that's what I'm looking for. All that stuff. It was cool, and I liked it all, but ultimately it's sort of, it kind of gets subsumed into the question of whether or not the galaxy gets destroyed or whatever. The stakes of the ending were really massive. That, yeah, I'm not surprised a bunch of their stuff changed, because it definitely felt like one game leading to two very different games. So... Anyway, that's the way it is. Yeah, like, it's not necessarily that the subsequent games are bad, but I think Mass Effect tried to be a lot more sort of classic sci-fi, whereas like Mass Effect 2 was very much darker and edgier. Check out how like you're working with this shady paramilitary, vaguely human supremacist organization, and now all your friends are like really edgy people, and it's like, but it's not that bad. I don't really have a problem with it. I enjoyed the saga for what it was. Like, I mean, I'd heard about all the ending mess, so like, I wasn't like, all that. I knew, I was kind of like, when I got to the ending, I was like, I can't wait to see what this fucked up ending is like. I think the Citadel DLC was like the real ending for Mass Effect. I think a lot of people say that, and I agree. See, I think if I cried anywhere, it would. I can't remember if I cried or not, but if I cried anywhere, it would have been like seeing all my friends off with the like final party in the Citadel DLC before we all went to like Chris Death and stuff. I think there were some pretty cheap bits, like the whole bit where like Legion has to sacrifice themselves to like save the Geth or whatever. That was really kind of contrived. I realise I'm massively spoiling the Mass Effect series for anyone who hasn't played it yet, but yeah, Jack should have been gay. It's like, it's BioWare, it's you know, Cassandra should have been gay. Like, it's like, oh look, this character seems really like gender non-conforming, but actually they're straight. Who saw that coming? And it's like, we all saw that coming, BioWare. You always do this. Got that rune. Oh. If you have an assignment that requires you to travel to the gate, see me. I hold the key. I need Dauds' key. Dauds' key.
I have a job tonight.
What's the delay?
I am gate-bound, not river-bound.
And Daud holds the key to the tunnel and is asked not to be disturbed. Is that it?
Correct.
This prisoner we took, the bodyguard who was with the Empress, seems to trouble him gravely.
Yes. I feel that we've reached a turning point tonight.
Yes. Good luck on your assignment when you're permitted to leave.
Shit. Tally should have been gay as well. So I basically, you know, my major criticism of any BioWare game is that there's inadequate lesbianism. The sleep toxin is only to be used on an abductee target and on the bandits which we need alive. Don't waste them trying to avoid collateral casualties. I mean, also, I think the other problem is that BioWare just retreads the same plot over and over again. Oh yeah, I kind of never got Andromeda because like the whole, you know, sort of manifest destiny in space thing is kind of.
For your next trial, you must move unseen, stay in shadow, and avoid the light. Cross to the other side of the room without attracting notice.
Why do these guys all have like the same voice? I guess because they're all wearing these masks. Let's see if we, how do you rearrange your hotkey bar? Also, I should upgrade my powers because, you know, I've got these powers and stuff. I mean, I'm close to maxing this all out, really. Might be worth getting Shadow Kill. Pretty cheap. I do want to summon a swarm of rats. Yeah, that's. Did he do it? That guy.
Very good. I did not see you approach. Now, attempt a transversal. Do not focus on your destination with your eyes. That is folly, and will limit the potential of the power. You know the layout of the room. Instead, focus on where you wish to be standing.
Damn it, they don't need line of sight.
So, you have no more to teach you for now. Return to your place of rest. Your real work with us begins tomorrow night.
Well done, that guy. He's coming through. I think they'd use this see-through walls power a bit. That's cute. Maybe I'll probably do that when I do my Low Chaos playthrough. So I do like the variety of ways that you approach this game. It's like a nice you know, realization of the immersive sim premise. Oh, I see how it's had it. Right, 1, 2. Let's put it back the way it was. 3, 4, 5. Use spring razors more often. Don't seem to use possession that much. My devouring swarm. Yes, Dad? Not right now. I think. Thanks very much, Dad. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, realizing an open world game in a way that kind of feels not non-repetitive. Like, handcrafted content can feel a lot more like, you know, focused and stuff.
Corvo's beaten us, sir. He's killed men who have no equal in the Isles. I'm afraid he'll kill you too. You said this couldn't happen, sir.
I didn't think it could. I always thought one of you, the strongest of you, might kill me. But not a stranger. A man not trained in our methods. But perhaps you will. Remain on watch. Kill him if you can. Maybe he'll surprise us both. So he's dead. Farewell, Lord Regent. Royal Spy Master. Hiram Burroughs. You small, worried man. You'll never know how many times I've thought about trying to get close to you again. Just to put a piece of sharp metal in your eye. But someone beat me to it. Someone very dangerous, it seems. Good riddance to you, sir. So many schemes you had, and so many contracts. How many people did I kill for you? None like the last. None like her. I'd give back all the coin if I could. No one should have to kill an empress.
And that's why hereditary monarchy is the best political system. I think I'm going to go and have a conversation with Dowd. Oh, I need to kill that guy first.
I know your footsteps, Corvo. Do you think you can hide from a hunter of men?
Interestingly, Dowd doesn't show up on the Night
I
vision.
know your footsteps, Corvo.
Oh no, yes he does. I just was too far away.
Do you think you can hide from a hunter of men?
Let's
Test yourselves against Corvo.
I thought it'd be more fun to fight them all.
And now we fight.
Maybe it would be better just to stab him. Dark Souls is great. Oh, he's right here.
Test yourselves against Corvo.
Okay.
Nice try, Corvo. And now we fight the duel that no two others could fight against the ticking of the clock. I've waited for this. Let's see if the outsider will sit. Or mine. Why are you fighting? Are the men who poisoned you and left you to die?
Ah, cool. He's
Or
doing
your
bend
dead
time as
Empress?
well.
Go on. Strike as if you mean it. You know I killed her. Fool! We're of the same breed, you and I. We kill for others. You think I'm your enemy? I've never lied to you. Hit harder. You're not fighting Lady Boyle now. You've got to strike faster if you want my blood. Are you frightened? Corvo, the terror of Dunwall. Afraid to face me? I'm disappointed.
Where is he?
Is this how you protected the Empress? Afraid to face me? I'm disappointed.
No, I'm not afraid to face you. I just don't know where you've bloody gone
Is
to,
this
mate.
how you protected the Empress? This is who protected the Empress. Hit harder. Fighting Lady Boyle now. This is who protected the Empress. You've got to strike faster if you want my blood. This is who protected the Empress. Let's up the challenge.
Ah.
I have one more surprise for you. I asked for my life when I killed your Empress and took her daughter. Something broke inside me. Now I see the design on the back of your hand, the mark of the outsider himself. And I remember all I've done. The years of waiting for the right moment to step forward from an alley and drive a knife between the ribs of some noble. All the money exchanging hands from one rich bastard or another. Killing for one of them 1 year, then being paid to kill him in return the next. I remember bending at the shrines, listening as the outsider whispered that I was going to
I think
change
this is it
things,
now.
that I was somehow important. It felt good. Made me believe I was powerful. But what have I accomplished? More than you have, or much less. Now I want nothing but to leave this city and fade from the memory of those who reside here. I've had enough killing, so my life is in your hands. Make your choice.
So, what do we do? Are we going to kill Dauds or let him live? I'll let chat decide. You are my Roman Empire. Do the whole, thumbs up, thumbs down thing. You could even do that with emojis, actually. Thumbs up if you should live, thumbs down if you should die. Feel free to discuss at length. No one has an opinion? Yeah, well, we're not in Rome. Fine, whatever, just, yeah, live and die. Live, okay, we'll let him live. One vote for live, one vote for kill. Oh, damn it. Damn it, Twitch. Okay, 2 votes live. Nice good to decide this by vote. Currently living. We're deciding whether or not to kill Daud, the leader of the assassins who killed the Empress. And he just begged us for his life. Oh, I'm about to die. And you're voting whether or not to kill me. I mean, I think he probably deserves it just as much as anyone else we've killed, but then, you know, on the other hand, it is interesting. Someone's begging for your life. He has actually surrendered you. So wait, when do I get to kill all my conspirators? I thought my Dauds can't be the final boss, right? I gotta surely go and stab the people who left me for dead. Like, anyway, I'm not just left with whoever poisoned me. How about? Okay, how about, you know what? I never the decision, we did it both ways. Okay, so this is killing him. Wow, we throw him off the fucking side. Okay. That's killing him. And here is letting him live.
And you choose mercy. Extraordinary.
Oh, and then he teleports away. Interesting. Mercy is the mark. Fed Daud's life. I didn't get an achievement for killing Daud. Right. Right now I just need to. I think it's possibly more interesting if we go with Mercy.
So he's dead. Farewell, Lord Regent.
Oh, we've already heard
Royal
this.
Spy Master.
We heard and recorded that. The Eradication of Black Sally. Excerpt from a popular story of crime and daring by Jules Robin and the City Watch. Before Slackjaw and the streets in the Distillery District, there was no boss more ruthless, violent, or dedicated to squeezing the average citizen for coin than Black Sally. Like so many from Morley, she was pale-skinned and green-eyed, with hair as black as the void. They say that she started young, and as a girl, she stunned a man with her looks, coming upon him in an alley, then smile a one-sided smile and suddenly run him through with a knife. She'd have his money and be on her way before he breathed his final breath. As a boss, she was worse, ruling over the meanest street gang done all the scene up to that time. Her operation touched everything from shipping to prostitution. She had a racket going with the Baker's Guild, a finger in every pie indeed. One man, Watch Captain James Robin, made it his mission to stop her, and kept the case going for half a decade. Black Sally met her end when Robin had his men light smoke fires in barrels near the warehouse where she hid out during the day. As she and her gang rushed into the streets, terrified the building was burning, Captain Robin and his top officers threw nets over them and ran them all through with blade and pistol shot. Lovely. That's key. Natalie, oh my god. You upgrade at Piero's. Interesting. Piero, Life is for Dead. So maybe, is that an error, or are we going to see Piero again? Let's go back and check out the stuff we can now open now that we've got Dauds' key. Space battles. Is that some Star Destroyer.net shit? Or it's like who could Madoka beat random anime character in a fight or something? Or am I mistaking that for something else? Oh wait, I think that's the way on, isn't it? It's like you have to kill Daud to get out of here. Of course. We've got to just keep calling him Dad from now on. Who knows, maybe he really is Corvo's dad. Yeah, read this one. Royal Protector. Yes. I know I haven't read this one. Throughout the ages, rulers have always faced attempt on their lives. Once in a generation, the empire is rocked for the death of a powerful political or religious figure. Once in a generation, yeah, right. As such, city-states across the Isles devise various strategies for protecting their leaders. In the capital city of Dunwall, each new emperor is allowed to appoint a royal protector. This is far more than a trusted bodyguard. Much more revered than the hand-chasing guards defending Dunwall Tower or the food tasters, the royal protector is a court figure given enormous latitude, who keeps constant company with the highest ruler in the known world. At the age of 12, the young monarch participates in the selection process, making the final decision about who will safeguard his or her life. While most of those chosen as royal protector have been men, several times through history a woman has served well in the role, such as Corvo. For the first time in Dunwall's history, a monarch has been slain by her own bodyguard. At the time of his writing, with Dunwall in the grip of the worst plague ever recorded, yeah, that makes sense, honestly. Like, I mean, there's definitely implied the Empress had romantic feelings for Corvo, and you do kind of act like her dad, so it makes sense. Our fair Empress Jessamine Cauldron has just been murdered. The deed was done by former royal protector turned assassin Corvo Otano, who is still sitting in Cauldron's prison awaiting his deserved execution. Some argue that it is worth noting that Corvo Otano is the first royal protector in the history of the Empire born outside of the Isle of Bristol. Can't trust those foreigners. The Redshore Chamber of Commerce. Once the financial heart of the Empire, the Redshore Financial District was a hive of trade activity. No district employed more barristers, accountants, or indeed more security, and no part of Dunwall saw a greater flow of coin. When the flood barriers broke and the waters rolled in, the looting that followed was accompanied by an epic period of chaos and butchery. Those who could withdraw and move their assets did what they could. Others, with their wealth tied up in grand mansions and artwork, lost it all. No, Corvo didn't kill the Empress. He was framed for the crime. That's the entire plot of the game. Others, with their wealth tied up in grand mansions and artwork, lost it all. When the last of the high society set had withdrawn and the lights went dark, Roger was a gloomy, crumbling shell of what it had been, inhabited by thieves, wild dogs, and rats. Once great palaces of commerce sat empty and haunted, or came to house killers and mercenaries, as well as... Once great palaces of commerce sat empty and haunted, or came to house killers and mercenaries, as well as anyone else looking to hide from the city watch. In mere months, the flooded district was settled on as the most proper name for this place. Well, so, take that, bourgeoisie. Dauds log, the latest log entry. 18 years on this wretched rock in this city of filth. I felt the blood of scholars, of noble paedophiles, of guildsmen, thanks to that game, of unfaithful lovers, of politicians who were far too just for their own good, and of law enforcers who came too close to bringing the wrong man to justice. Why should an empress be any different? Why should I feel the entire weight of this dying city crashing down on my back? Corvo, Lord Protector, is of Serkonos, just as I once was. I might have known that fact already, but it didn't matter until I recognized it in his face. It brought back instant memories of home, and the optimistic young man I once was. What would I find if I went back there? Would I find that it is rotted from the inside, just like Dunwall, or would it only appear that way because I'm the one who's rotted? Dieselpunk. So basically, you know how steampunk is like Victorian armor with like sort of a fantastical clockwork thing. Dieselpunk is like almost all of the variant punks are based on steampunk, not on cyberpunk, because they don't. Steampunk is basically dieselpunk is basically steampunk, but instead of steam technology, you've got like sort of interwar technology, like World War One X or something like that. So it shares a lot of like its aesthetic and values with steampunk, just less Victorian and more sort of World War One, II sort of designs. It's an art style more than a genre, really. I think a popular diesel punk series would be Scott Westfeld's Ugly series or whatever it's called. Not Uglies, it's the Leviathan, etc. Not to be confused with like Hobbes' Leviathan, but I mean cyberpunk is what it is. Like there's good cyberpunk, there's bad cyberpunk. Cyberpunk can be good. It has a lot more. I think the ethos of cyberpunk is a lot more valuable than steampunk. I mean, I think sort of. Actually, it may be unfair saying they share all their values and ethos with steampunk, but they do tend to like a lot of the variant punks do have like sort of basically boys' own adventure novel levels of politics, and which is like the least punk thing, but what can you do? And that might be giving punk too much credit. No, I'm not just jumping around randomly. Solarpunk, yeah. Solarpunk's kind of alright. That's, I guess, got more inspiration of... Solarpunk draws more on steampunk than, like... And you're like... An actual sort of punk ethos on some level. I mean, to some level, sort of... Solarpunk is kind of vague. Like, is it just like... We like Art Nouveau and buildings with trees on them? Or is it... I find a lot of like discussions of this or that is solarpunk. Like apparently Pokemon is supposedly solarpunk, which is a bit of a stretch, I think. That is the director. So that's it. We're closing down after all these years. After we just unveiled the new statue of Jessamine Caldwin, a broken wall and some rising water, and we're just going to abandon the building and split up our offices in the lesser districts. Are you insane? Has your brain turned to plague rats? Have you been drinking the outsider's piss? Any of these explanations I would accept sooner than the relocation assignments we all found on our desks this morning. If this is truly how you plan to operate as our director, then no, I will not accept my relocation orders. Consider this my resignation. Percival Cox, former Deputy Chairman, Rudgell Chamber of Commerce. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. Oh yeah, and it's a burn charm. Whoops. Honestly, Dauds assassins are kind of disappointing. Yeah, like, Stone Punk is, you know, a silly name for stuff like the Flintstones, basically. I think biopunk, although like it's not really a subgenre, but it's sort of, you know, stuff like Cameron Hurley's Mirror Empire series, for example. That's I think that can, it's quite it's an aesthetic I have some fondness for, even if it's just like, okay, we get it, you play Tyranids. Wow, I walked way past that bone charm. Atom Punk is kind of like Atom Punk. I would think of as being like a kind of Cold War aesthetic type thing. Might say, well, what's punk about it, and it'd be a question, but see a punk subgenre that's like based on the aesthetics of like punk music. That would be kind of neat. Yeah, I agree, Natalie, that like I could say Cold War aesthetic, sort of, but like exaggerated, because all the punks are like exaggerated. Oh hey, robust too. Will be worth equipping. What's that do? Potions give me more health. That will be useful. Yes. You could. I mean, I've read some Homestead fics. I don't know about sprawling sci-fi fics, although that sounds exactly like the sort of shit the Homestead fandom would write. Sounds just as insufferable as steampunk, to be honest. Just an extended discussion about various punk subgenres. Yeah. Feel free to recommend me some good ones. No, that's not mug punk. I drink way more tea than that. Did you have to recommend? Roxy recommends me some fics after the stream, so I can actually write them down and look them up and stuff. I think got everything in here, so we can leave. Right. Who wants revenge? Let's go and find our conspirators and put knives in them. Throwing hand, huh? Okay, rats. Because I've been murdering people, I think they own the place. Ooh, train. I bet we're going to ride on that train. The video game, we always ride on a train.
Be in a basement. There's no hospital. I told you that. I think they round people up because there's a cure. They're city guards. They're supposed to protect people. They did. They protect the healthy people from people like us, the sick ones. I'm not that bad. Some people pull through, right? Don't they? 1 in 1,000. 10,000 probably. Any chance I'll take.
Ah, this is sad.
Get out of there and get better. I'm going to do right this time. A fresh start. This time. Goodbye, my boy.
Ah, that was sad. You know, every sad moment in a video game, there's someone to sort of dryly say, "Wow, that was sad" at the end.
Strange. You don't look ill. You're not a victim, not a guard. A spirit from the void, maybe. Another wagon comes every few minutes. How many do you think have died? They say 1/3 of the city. I wouldn't have believed it, but I saw the mound of corpses myself. They dropped us in it. I don't blame them. I know why they do it. But I only wanted to die at home.
Yeah, this is some grimdark shit. Gosh. It's like how he keeps giving you prompts of how it's the best to kill this guy. Like, no! I don't know who that is. Oh, Squish.
Plague wagon's running every couple of minutes now. We just need to get on top of it and ride out of here.
Okay, great, smart guy. And what do we do when we hit the wall of light on Wet Short Gate? We'll be fried.
We can worry about that when we get there. I don't hear you with any better ideas.
That's because you've got fat in your ears.
Oh. Hey. Alright. Interrupted their conversation. Oh shit. It's all the way back here.
These waters are greedy. They will never give back what they have taken.
There's no hospital. I told you that. You think they round people up because there's a cure? They're city guards. They're supposed to protect people. They did. They protect the healthy people from people like us, the sick ones. I'm not that bad. Some people pull through, right? Don't they? 1 in 1,000. 10,000 probably. Any chance
I haven't got my browser open, so you'll have to tell me whether he looks like that guy.
When I get out of there and get better, I'm going to do right this time. A fresh start. This time.
Goodbye, my boy. Strange. You don't look ill. You're not a victim, not a guard. A spirit from the void, maybe. Another wagon comes every few minutes. How many do you think have died? They say a third of the city. I wouldn't have believed it, but I saw the mound of corpses myself. They dropped us in it. I don't blame them. I know why they do it. But I only wanted to die at home.
It's a very unpleasant setting in many ways. Obviously, that's all the point, really.
Can't stand this waiting anymore. The plague wagon's running every couple of minutes now. We just need to get on top of it and ride out of here.
Okay, great, smart guy. And what do we do when we hit the wall of light on Wet Short Gate? We'll be fried.
We can worry about that when we get there. I don't hear you with any better ideas.
That's because you've got fat in your ear. Those tall boys are just waiting for a chance to cut loose. We get power to their lights, and they'll go off to hunt plague. We can slip right past them.
Kill what, a dozen people? I didn't get into this to kill people.
If only you knew how to tie up a boat. We need to make up our mind. That guy in the mask I saw, he came up from the dry canal. That's whaler territory. They're bad.
Okay. We'd better make sure the coast is clear before we pack up. Don't want to get caught with our pants down.
I don't care if I'm wearing pants or not. As long as I get out of here.
I don't care if I'm wearing pants or not, as long as I get out of here. I feel like we need to... It's very memeable. I can kill these
The
guys.
city's dead. Won't make it 3 more months.
Oh yeah.
Even the terrible floods were not enough to wash away the sorrows of Dunmore. The river rushed in when the barrier broke. The whole district went dark.
I like how he doesn't even check whether or what's happened to his friend. I think we've already heard these lines. Unless, or do you mean if you point them at these guys?
They butchered the deep ones
No, I
here.
don't have any for these guys.
Breathing
Unless it doesn't work when they're
stinks
still
of their enchanted
asleep.
flesh.
Okay. Also, hello Snake Alive. I think I don't think I've seen you in these parts before. So we've got a bunch of tool boys. Oh, what fun! Oh, sorry, I should get that rune up there.
Buggers didn't keep climbing back out. How many times have I asked that only cadavers take the long drop?
Nothing ever changes. You should know that.
Some guy in the last shift was telling me the Lord Ancient himself was stuck like a pig on some assassin's blade. What is going on up there?
It's heavily implied.
The way you express yourself.
Well, it's-
Now shut up about it. I'm told there might still be plague carriers running around there.
They poke their heads out sometimes, but I've had my hands so full with these diseased bastards coming out of the canal, I truly can't be bothered.
Well, the tall boys have orders to burn them out. If a weeper gets out, then we've got the same problem 100 times over.
This is exactly why those jackasses who run the plague wagon need to gut the bodies before they throw them in here.
So,
The lights back on, it'll be easier. We've got more tanks of whale oil on their way.
Finally, the last thing I need to do is crawl around looking for them.
Right. I'm headed back to civilization, or what's left of it. Have fun in here.
Oh, you bet. Because the tall boys are such great conversationalists.
So it's heavily implied that the heart belonged to the Empress. Is what I was going to say. Well, watching it before I stopped to watch that conversation. Anyway, there's a bunch of tool boys, so we need to deal with them before we Security work log. For the next couple of days, we're going to quadruple the rate of drops from the Blade Wagon. This inevitably means we're going to get a growing number of plague carriers who play dead in the hopes of escaping. So here's the plan to keep the Ritual Gate area secure. Step 1. Set up some arc pylons in the courtyard behind the hotel. We have a street blocker up there, but we can't weld it shut. We still need to use that route to access the river, which means plaguers can too. Step 2. Put up a barrier between Thresh Street and Old Mosley Canal. Step 3. Install more lights, especially to illuminate the hotel and surrounding buildings. You might be tempted to borrow the oil tank from the pylons to get the floodlights working. Do not. We need those pylons active and the backcourt secure. Okay. Oh, fuck. Well, that was not the most stealthy kill, but whatever. Okay. Let's okay, so how many tool boys have we got? 1, 2, 3. It's going to be quite hard to fight them all at once. Obviously, we ideally want to pick them off one by one. Oh. Okay, do not jump on the electrified rail. That's enough. Counter the stealth kill because we got the yeah, definitely not the tracks. Okay, let me try exactly the same thing I did before and see if I get a stealth kill this time. Yeah, that was going to work. Well, actually it did work, but it shouldn't have done. That's really cool. I love that. That was like this sort of entire subgenre of fiction. God, I wish my like knowledge of sort of like fan fiction side universes that like spawn from a particular fan fiction or genre of fan fiction, all that wasn't, you know, sort of centered around fucking conversion bureau and shit like that. And if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to tell you. No, I probably will, but. I haven't actually read any of those. And this, I'll tell you later. Can you kill a tool boy with a cluster block? Probably not. They've got guided heads. And just for the record, my pronouns are she, her. Damn it. That is neat. I have more or less a complete set. Yeah, I should probably just, see if I can take these tool boys in a straight fight, but not do anything straight. But, instead of trying to save scum into like actually stealth killing them. One down. There's probably like other ways to deal with the tool boys apart from the teleport stab attack. Yeah. Oh. Well, let's find out. Oh no, that one dead. That one died. Wait, this one is... Okay, apparently that did count as a stealth kill after all, even though it was like the most sort of clumsy stealth kill. Right. Okay, I mostly kill the tool boys out of principle, like not on any sort of grounds for like actually needing to do that, but it works. So now we need to deal with the electro barrier. Yeah, let's say that. Oh, okay. Do not stand on the electrode rail. Did I quick save before? No, this is after destroying the right. Rather dramatic music, considering nothing particularly happened apart from pulling a battery out of a battery receptacle. Oh, there's a tool boy there. Oh fuck. Okay, here we go. Okay, there you go. Well, that's probably not the most efficient tool boy fight, but we got the job done. Wanted! Me, several times over. I think the shots remove the armor, and that might make it easier to kill them. Yes, I do have upgraded agility, I believe. If not, I should probably get it. Yes, I do. Oh yeah, of course the obvious way to fight the tool boy would be to use that handy tank of petrol to... sorry, whale oil. What am I actually supposed to be doing right now? Oh, I'll port this trick to go to the Harvest Pub. So my speculation that like eventually I would be the Harvest Pub will be stormed by the enemies was not entirely wrong, except of course it's going to be medium the storming. I think there's another rune I didn't get. Wow, that was dumb.
When the seal broke, many strange things were drowned and forgotten.
To wait for the next train. Fortunately, there's like a little staging area here. Oh, okay. I should have tried that actually. Yeah, you can just do the high jump, don't you? Okay, so this is a like one back and forth railway. So what I need to do is wait for it to go out the door, come back through, and then ride to the other end that way. It's another tall boy. Let's try that ability trick. Agility trick again. That did not go so well. That really did not go so well. Roxy, you bring the best discussion to this chat, like. Stumped on my. Why? I need to get out of this habit of quick loading at every opportunity. This is not good for the game, not good for anything really. Okay, here comes the train. Inevitable bit in every FPS style game when you ride a train. Damn it! Should have quick save. I really should have quick saved. I mean, to be fair, they had the same like artist doing the graphic design for this game as Half-Life 2. It auto-saved. Auto-saved with me on the rails. Okay, that's... Oh no, it didn't auto-save with me on the rails. It auto-saved me next to the rails, waiting to board a train. It's,
When the seal broke, many strange things were drowned and forgotten.
Yes, I've already... It's an interesting framing. I haven't got the DLC, so I didn't. Right. There we go. That's. Oh, come on. Quick load vortex. Oh hey, apparently I've landed on like a convenient bit of ground or something that... What am I standing on? Oh, it's like... Just a quick load. I can just... The death floor is like a, not the most generous feature of the game. Is there like a lower platform? No. Oh, it's gonna quick load with me falling off that platform now, isn't it? No? Okay. Let me not screw this up. You know, just saying I'm not going to screw this up doesn't actually make me not screw it up. Right. This is actually the correct way to do this. I may be missing that there's like a really easy way to go up there that sort of doesn't require me doing that repeatedly. So we want to get out to that roof. Let's just try and do it a more like traditional way. There's surely something to climb on in this area. Oh, moaning and groaning in pain. That's a sign of... Oh, hey. Unbreakable door. It's jammed.
They bring the bodies here with rough hands in cages. Some of them are still breathing. The water is so cold.
I mean, I think
it's the last thing I feel.
if the heart, it really is the heart of the Empress, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for everyone to have a heart, arguably. It might be a reason why the heart is not present in later games, if it isn't. Right, I finally figured out what the way we're supposed to climb this.
Get back! What the hell are you?
Dear Alpha, we don't care if you're sick. Please come home. We'll take care of you. I'm not afraid. Your sister tells me that you're planning on hiding in the flooded district and that you want to die alone there. Please don't do that to us. Please. I love you.
Some new kind of guard? Like a tall boy? Can't be. Doctor, maybe? Just kidding. Assassin, maybe. Passing through, huh? Hoping to catch a ride on the plague wagon. A few come through here trying. And they fall and break their necks. But that won't stop you. You're almost there. It's pretty easy to get to the rooftops from here. You'll see the way.
Thanks, friendly plague victim. Yeah, this is... Turns out there was... a straightforward way to fray out of here. Oh, damn. Also, there's a book down there I didn't read. I should probably There we go, that's what we came here for. A rune. Okay, I think that's all the runes in this area. I guess we could just ride the train back. A few more tall boys showed up. We could possibly deal with them if people are particularly concerned with the death to all tall boys. Yeah, so in fact what you're supposed to do, instead of going from the train up here, you were supposed to go through the house up here and onto the train from that little platform. But that's what you get, I guess.
What do you want from me? To rob me? Looking for a quick roll in the mud? To rescue me?
I actually wanted to read your book, but... Spirit of the Deep, Siren of the Dreams. I walked for hours along the coast, leaving Dunwall behind me until the lament of the waves drowned all other feeling. I wept, knowing you would not come to me, my love. You rule my dreams, where I beheld with senses I do not possess in waking life the dark splendour of your home in the deep. There, the ocean rests on your back like a sleeping child on his father's shoulders. And these sleepless nights of despair, you appear to me not as a mighty Leviathan, but as a young man with eyes as black as the void.
Well, I am not going anywhere. I came here all on my own, and I'm staying right here.
Good for you.
Do you think it's better out there? I hate to break it to you, but this is it. This is Dunwall, what you see right here. Flooded district, estate district, anywhere else. It's all gonna be the same soon.
I like this lady.
Yo, Chep.
Going so soon? I thought you'd never leave.
Right, as we were then. I do like the little bits of sort of environmental storytelling and random characters you meet throughout these levels and things. It's actually quite nice to run into some civilian characters who aren't like standard maids or like standard anything. Like, anyway, there's some tall boys in this area, so let's carry on our project of tall boy depopulation, and then let's carry on to the hound pit. Wait, you can't do a big jump out of water. Well, the last wholesome lesbian couple that in Journey, they totally betrayed us by having it be a entirely not wholesome murder lesbian, which is just. Those two dealt with, and bam. See, it's not fun having murder lesbians if they're trying to murder each other, you know? It's not relatable. I mean, I guess you could do a sort of like rivals, sort of enemies who secretly love each other type thing. That would sort of work, but anyway. There's not a whole lot of lesbians in this game. I mean, to be fair, there's like quite a lot of games where all about lesbians on itch.io. Like, as long as you're, you know, happy with it being visual novels and indie platforms and stuff. But also, you know, let's make them. Let's make the games we want to see in the world and all that, or something. Make the gay-ass lesbian games full of lesbians that we want to see. Yeah. I can say that every named character in every one of my games has been a lesbian. It's something I can be. I think games do have a lot of trouble portraying relationships in a way that sort of actually like make use of interactivity, which doesn't turn into a sort of like figure out the sequence of commands and button presses you need to do to get a sex cutscene, like in a BioWare game or something. You know, sort of games deal with romance themes in a number of interesting ways. Sort of Twines, for example, are probably the most interesting. But oh dear. I thought these people might have something to say, but no, it's just like plague victim. There's no way my sword was that long. Anyway, I just eat this rat skewer next to a pile of, you know, all these plague victims. That's going to be healthy and good. Oh god, oh shit, I heard about those on Polygon or something. They look absolutely horrifying. It's kind of like in a sort of so bad it's good way almost, I guess. I just can't get into the fantasy of being a big burly dude of God of War. I mean, obviously, Robert Young's games sort of do some interesting things, kind of metaphorically talking about sex without actually like portraying it in many cases. So yeah, we are just murdering all these plague victims. Sorry about this. I kind of blew my cover, so there's not a lot I can do. Because these guys just sort of run towards you. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, isn't it? I mean, I think the game sort of implies that they are no longer sort of conscious or whatever, but... Huh? Am I going to be like creeping into the sewers? Oh, apparently I did not turn this wheel long enough. Will it actually lock, or...? Oh, it's the one-way door, I see. Those, special video game creations, like... Seriously? Like, you're driving a car, that's like... I know, I guess I can imagine that probably a lot of homophobic streamers are like lol gays or whatever, but... I don't know. Yeah, I am hyped for Heaven Will Be Mine. Yeah, but we're like lol gays in a good way, like sort of. It's very different when you are gays. Like lol gays has a very different connotation when you are the gays, you know. I see that stopped you from leaving by that way earlier. Oh, hello, who's this? Which of my...
last swig of whiskey.
Oh, it's a thug.
You're the mask guy's been taking down all the lords and ladies. No way through this gate unless you got the sewer key.
It's
Only
lords and
one
ladies.
place to get that key, and I wouldn't go there. Not for all the gold in Dunwall Tower. Not again. Maybe you could pull it off, though. Something attacked us in the distillery. It used the rats. I know it sounds crazy. And then it run back under the streets. So we come down here to kill it. Slackjaw leading the way. Went bad. I barely crawled out. Don't know what happened to Slackjaw. He had the sewer key, though.
But the thing about, I mean, I guess I can see like the one where you're like showering with the guys is probably too explicit to Twitch, but like the one where you're driving a car and like it's sort of symbolically sexual but not like actually, that I can see how that one, you know, sort of, it's an interesting edge case, I guess. Yeah, right.
Nightmare. Something came up and started attacking. Slackjaw's still in there.
Okay, well, I guess we either have to rescue or kill Slackjaw. Oh, someone shot. Wait, did he shoot himself? Oh, did I trip I probably tripped one of those like tripwire guns, didn't I? I forgot about those. They sort of didn't show up since like the very beginning of the game almost. Ah dear, it's one of these things again. That's how it works. I mean, Engel says so. Can't. You're not going to distrust Engels, are you? It's definitely how to Marxism, this sort of stagist view of history. Determinism. I don't know why I'm sort of discoursing about Marxism in response to that perfectly innocuous ah, damn it, I'm not quick enough. I think I need to use a gun or something. I feel like sort of saying capitalism came about because of the Black Death is sort of somewhat, I know, might be a bit contentious. Like, You know, I think it's an interesting hypothesis, but I'm not sure you can. I don't know. You know, I'd be interested in hearing the case for and against that sort of proposition. No, but not that the Black Death itself happened, but like that it was the cause of capitalism in Europe. Like, fully. I mean, why did Europe develop capitalism is quite a difficult question. Oh god, they're all bouncing into the stream. This is not good. Mind you, I do have a bunch of grenades, so I can just keep throwing them. Grenade next to me. Wow, I just gotta go through like all of my grenades and like not hit these damn things once. There we go. Oh yeah, Kim Stanley Robinson. I haven't read it. I know of it. I hope they removed these river crossing sequels because they're not very fun to fight. Like, I can see what they're trying to do. It's sort of an enemy you have to keep your distance from, but okay. Bone charm in there. Jelly's next task. Jelly, you daft choffer. Here's another one for you. That old witch, Granny Rags, told me that you'll lose your taste for whiskey in the month of wind. Then your eyes will go dumb in the month of seeds, and you'll draw your last breath in the month of ice. If you want your chair, you know what to do. Does anyone actually... Oh, here's the calendar. Right, okay. Conveniently, we finally get the calendar for this game. So, notes. Okay, wind, seeds, ice. So wind, seeds, and ice. So 5, 2, 8. To be honest, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if you did know them offhand. It seems like a sort of random historical fact you might know. And you know a lot about the 30 Years' War. I think like between the forced term jokes and the discussion of Marxism, this sort of might have been off-putting to people, I don't know. Oh, I'm not really going to bother. I doubt I'll actually have much to money from. Oh gosh. Okay, it's one of those video game levels where you have to swim through a tunnel and you've got to find the pockets of air, I guess. Oh, okay, right. Let's reach out there and grab some CrossFit bolts, as one does. God, wasn't there like a I think there's some like Craigslist post or something about like someone was saying that they wanted, they were like an anti-revisionist Marxist Leninist and they wanted to be sort of domed by like a sort of Trotsky's right deviation or something. It had all like the jargon and stuff. I can't even remember it. It was kind of hilarious.
I'm going to boil off the nasty fat and sinew and carve a pretty song on your bones.
Hey! Someone kill this crazy witch! I can make you rich!
Quiet now. Granny needs to concentrate.
Well, I guess we get a choice. Do we want to try with Granny Rags or what's his name, the leader of the gang?
Nice and
Slackjaw, there we go.
Into your skeleton, Slackjaw. Nice and sharp.
What if I just walk in there? I mean, we haven't pissed off Granny Rags, but we haven't helped her much either. Hey, Granny.
There's my love. Are you ready to help get Slackjaw's bones? Granny has some birthday gifts for you. I've been saving them up in case you ever came back to me.
What does she want me to do? It seems like everyone's leaning towards Granny Rags, so, I mean, even though she is possibly even more evil than Slackjaw, so...
Aren't you a gentleman helping Granny Rags with her stew? We'll eat well tonight, sweetheart. First thing, you'll have to put him to the knife. Don't want him crawling out of the pot now.
What you doing? Listen on me, Corvo. Don't help her. Don't let her kill me. You can have anything I own.
You have to gut
whiskey.
him first, dear.
I got a key to the sewerways. Whatever you want.
Excerpt from an untitled manuscript, written in a scrawling hand. Stronger than Scrimshaw. A skull full of guile, whale bile, bones in a pile, white scraped gleaming, kindle fire and crackle fat. Beaker black goblet spat, fume up, fume up. Feathers, mad-eyed bird fell to the ground. Seeds, nettle, needly, needle see. There a bit. So, are we going to do some sort of fucked up necromantic ritual? Should think so. Hey, it's that weird contraption that was like in front of the
She'll do the same to you. There's no dealing with her. She's mad. But you know Slackjaw always keeps his word.
Alright.
I'll kill you both! You're worse than her! These chains can't hold me forever!
Unlock his chains for me, darling. Here's the key.
I think sort of when someone's... Oh, right, okay. Apparently there was no option to release him. Oh, where's the key? I did save it. I have saved. I'm going to try both. I wonder if I'm going to get denounced as a misandrous by our visitors from earlier. Wait, really? Where's the key?
Go ahead and unlock his chains now, dearest.
Okay, that's so this is the route where we kill Slackjaw.
That's right. Pick him up and toss him right in the pot. Go on.
The pot being a bathtub. No one accused me of misandry. I just feel like it looks like they're gone, but we had some normal gamers in here. If they're still around, I'm sorry for calling you normies.
Oh, thank you. What a fine help you've been. I'll just let him stew a while now. Go ahead, darling. Take your presents and go. Granny's got things to do.
I thought there'd be more of a cutscene here. And I could kill them both. Where are the presents? Alright, what? Oh, oh, I see. Oh, there's a furnace here. That for like putting Granny in or something.
You find your way into such interesting places, Corvo.
Oh, it's this guy again.
Crawling out of those flooded ruins, winding your way back to the pub where you last saw Emily. Where is she now? How does it feel now, knowing your allies betrayed you? Strange how there's always a little more innocence left to lose. And Dowd, the man who killed the Empress. You had him in the palm of your hand, and you let him walk away? You fascinate me.
But also Granny was gonna like do a fucking war crime and poison a bunch of people, so not, I guess it's not a war crime if there isn't a war, but you know, crime against humanity, that's right. Fish gotta fish, birds gotta eat, witches gotta commit crimes against humanity. So yeah, this is siding with Granny save. Let's find out what happens if you like Granny.
I'll kill you both! You're worse than her! These chains can't hold me forever!
Oh, she turns into a swarm of rats. Interesting. He'll be back, I'm sure. Oh shit, that's not the reload button, it's the healing potion button.
She's back!
I
She
won't
can't
go
be
away.
killed!
You can't kill me, but I can kill you. I control the clouds. They come and go at my command.
Rat trick shot.
You think you're going to save him? He's not worth it. Now Granny
Oh,
is
thanks,
going
Mum.
to kill you just like all the others.
Oh, thank you very much, Mum.
What's wrong? Can't you find me? Now you'll see what I can do. It's too late for him, and it's too late for you. You will die, and I'll carve spells into your lips. You're
Yeah,
a fool to try to help him.
isn't that like
Now
Indigo Prophecy?
you're going to die.
Whatever it's called.
Bones of the great Leviathan.
Protect me! She was young. That's where she gets her powers. Throw it into the furnace, burn the cameo, and you kill her.
Can do, dearie. Well, it's not enough. I control them. They come and go at my command.
Searching.
You think you're going to save him? He's not worth it. Now Granny is going to kill you just like all the others.
Ah, fucking rat.
That you were a fool. Now It's too late for him, and it's too late for you.
Probably doing that a bunch of times. Anyway, let's find that cameo. Not that way. Where's it gonna be?
Not so easy to be rid of Granny Rags, is it? Shield me, ocean fogs, shield me.
She's just summoned a whole lot of rats.
You think you're going to save him? It's not worth it. Now Granny is going to kill you just like all the others. You will die, and I'll carve spells into your ribs.
Yeah, lovely. Where is that cameo? Yeah, maybe it's under the bed. Oh, rats. Always rats.
That's the best you can do, dearie. Well, it's not enough. I control the clouds. They come and go at my command. You think you're going to save him? He's not worth it. Now Granny is going to kill you just like all the others.
I am not quite sure what the thing we're supposed to find is.
That you were a fool.
Keep her suppressed. It'd be green. Well. Ah, there it is.
Not so easy to be rid of Granny Rags. Hide me from his view. Hide me. Now Granny is
Now I just need to find and kill her.
just like all the others.
Ah.
It works best if I boil you alive. Any chance you'll hop in the pot, dearie?
I think she's dead. Rats are running away. Alright. you just die immediately. might have quick autosaves after I kill Granny. Oh, okay, no. Let's see what happens. I want to see what the outsider says. Granny Rags, quick kill.
Oh no. I'll kill you and cook you. Bones of
So, he saves Slackjaw this time. See what happens now.
Wanna know something funny? When we were kids, we were all scared of Granny Rags. Thought she was a terrible witch. Then we grew up and figured she was just a sad old lady. We were right the first time. Now ain't that funny? I owe you. This won't even the score, but it's all I got left. Luck to you, Corvo.
Oh, it gives you a fuck ton of money. So that's the alternative play. So, you see what happens, I guess. Let's see. Let's see what the outsider has to say here.
You find your way into such interesting
It's gonna be the same thing, more or less, isn't it?
At the eye of the storm, raging between Granny Rags and this man who has lived his whole life with a cleaver in one hand and a bottle in the other. Crawling out of those flooded ruins, winding your way back to the
This is
pub
just
where
pretty
you
much the
last
same.
saw Emily. Where is she now? How does it feel now, knowing your allies betrayed you? Strange how there's always a little more innocence left to lose. And Dowd, the man who killed the Empress. You had him in the palm of your hand, and you let him walk away? You fascinate me.
There we go. So, no, that's what happens if you kill Granny Rags. And then kills that girl for good measure. I mean, this is basically the depopulation route. Okay, look at that. That was a completely unnecessary walk. Sorry, yeah, I wasn't paying attention, but yeah. Right, well, with that done, we may now return to exacting revenge on our former allies. In fact, the only person we've left alive is Dauds. I feel like for consistency's sake we should probably have killed Dauds too, because we killed everyone else, including ultimately the High Overseer. Wait, is there a shortcut back to... I don't have to swim all the way through that tunnel again, do I? I probably do actually, don't I? Oh well. Where should I listen? Should I have listened to you, Natalie? Ah. We did kill Dauds. Oh. Right. Okay. At this point, I'm not exactly sure what, like, even if I do get another opportunity to spend money, I'm not quite sure what use more of Pierre's devices would actually be. Yes. more plague victims. Damn. Heavy bombardment. Like Penny Hill. I can remember when I was like, oh no, I don't want to kill a Weeper, I better protect them. Okay, Bedfriender. Yeah. Did I just... Oh, cool. Sorry for the ultra-violence, I'm much less into this than, you know, like taking down the cops or whatever. And that's true, I mean these people's fates are basically sealed, but at the same time it's unpleasant to be the one actually doing the killing here. But that's the fiction, I guess. Okay, gotta have that grim dart. They are like full zombie, they're like, these are the these are the Weepers. They're like people whose plague is basically completely taken over. I'll get through this quickly. In fact, maybe I should save my time. God, I basically seem to be maxing out the possible chaos that we'll get in the ending, aren't we? Look at this, is like sort of the highest of high chaos. Ah, fuck's sake. Lucky they give you lots of grenades, isn't it? Yeah, I guess dealing with these things is pretty much why you have all these grenades. But that's gonna have to. Okay, I think we're pretty much there. I just need to find the final route back to the pub, which is right over there, of course. Oh, I don't need to eat those. Actually, maybe I did. I don't know. Anyway. Right. Here we go. Do you think they're still in the Hound Pits? You'd think that having like successfully completed their conspiracy, they would no longer hang out in the Hound Pits, but what do I know? Oh, we missed most of the Sokolov paintings. Hostiles killed 70. I helped Slackjaw defeat Granny, but I also killed Slackjaw, you'd think. Oh. Anyway, oh well, let's carry on. You've returned to the Handpits pub to pick up the trail of your old allies and find out where they've taken Emily. Hey, Cecilia.
Please, no. Oh, it's you, Corvo. I think Havelock called us into the yard, but I wasn't feeling well. I just watched from the attic. The Admiral brought his cutlass. He stuck Wallace through the eye with it. Then he did Lydia.
Shit.
Callista he shot in the back with his pistol. Emily saw it all. Havelock kept yelling something about the things he'd done and how no one could ever know. Pendleton wouldn't even look anyone in the face.
Bloody hell.
They said it was time for Sokolov and went off to his cage. I don't know what happened after that.
So anyone deserves being sort of, you know, like... Well, I say that having spent the entire game executing various people for relatively minor crimes, but still, that's...
Emily was there when the killing started. Poor child. I hope she hid her eyes. The Admiral said that Martin was right. I guess they talked about it. And they started to worry they'd get executed for all that they'd done, going after the Lord Regent and his allies. I suppose it's why they've poisoned you too. I thought Lydia would squeal on me at the end. She just told Havelock to screw himself. And died. Lydia's the only one who ever showed me any kindness. I don't think the Admiral actually knew I existed. I can hide here for as long as it takes. Seems that no one is safe when a man is that close to a prize like the throne.
She's said everything she can. Oh, that was unnecessary. As you would have hagfish before. Oh, all the... Yeah, Cecilia's good. Like, well, with the exception of Wallace, as Natalie says, their servant characters are considerably more sympathetic.
Last coronation. We even make it to tonight. Will you look at this mess?
Relax. One of the officers said he was dead. Poisoned, thrown in the river. If you ask me, he's long gone. With the mask in the river, left town.
That's what a rational person would do. Not this guy. You have to understand the criminal mind. I hear they had to hide the Caldwell girl from him the whole time they were working with him. I heard they locked him in a cage and only let him out at night.
Criminal mind, huh?
Probably watching us right now. That crazy mask on. Getting closer. Ever closer until...
Cut it out. What's so impressive about Corvo anyway? Who's he got up against? A couple of high overseers, a couple of noblemen? You could never stand up to men with our training.
Well, now I do hope he shows up. I want to see you run crying for the cover of the tall boys out back.
Like you were. The other night.
What was I supposed to do? Stand there and get hit by rocks?
They were just kids.
They were a gang. I hope Lord Regent Havelock sends the tall boys in to level the place. It's gonna be a new era.
Having a 10-year-old on the throne isn't gonna cure the plague.
High Overseer Martin says it will. He says we were cursed when the Empress died by Corvo's black magic, and the rats are never gonna leave until we had a real Cauldron back. He says the outsider follows Corvo around.
There's some curse on this city, that's for sure. I'm still trying to forget working in the flooded district.
Don't remind me. Before we go, I'm gonna stash a few bottles of wine from the cellar. Take them out of here with us.
Just make sure Corvo's not hiding down there first. Maybe you're right about that guy.
I wonder what happens if you just walk up to them. Hello?
Huh?
Nothing unusual.
Was not hiding down there first. Maybe you're right about that guy.
Oh shit. Oh boy. Same with their training, huh? Yeah.
I'll feed your heart to the hound.
Wow, there's a lot of them.
Attention Dunwall citizens. With sad hearts, the City Watch must announce the death of the Lord Regent, Hiram Burroughs. May his spirit fade from this world and suffer no more.
Yeah, probably.
Was not hiding down there
I
first.
do kind of like the idea of taking them all out in one massive fight, though. It is kind of, sort of, put the lie to that whole stuff about how Corvo is. I wonder if you could take out a tall boy with that one shot. Yeah, you can't. Oh,
Not
okay.
hiding down there first. Maybe you're right about that guy.
That sounds interesting. Turn around too.
Was not hiding down there first. Maybe you're right about that guy.
That's cool, like you spend like the game sort of sneaky around this pub just for the sake of it. And then you actually finally like...
Attention Dunwall citizens. With sad hearts, the City Watch must announce the death of the Lord Regent, Hiram Burroughs. May his spirit fade from this world and suffer no more.
No, I triggered the guards, didn't it?
Hold on,
find you,
someone's down.
whoever you are. Then I'll...
See, I want to try and stealth this level.
Not hiding down there first. Maybe you're right about that guy.
Attention Dunwall citizens. With sad hearts, the City Watch must announce the death of the Lord Regent, Hiram Burroughs. May his spirit fade from this world and suffer no more.
Oh, seriously?
Guards!
Guess get a helmet on or something. Yeah. Not bad, the shit post.
Update. Our men are still trying to penetrate the workshop. Those are tight. We think Piero Joplin's inside. Crackpot, natural philosopher.
There is evidence that Anton Sokolov was held here against his will for some time. We can't determine what happened to him. I'll bet my commission is in that building with Piero Jopling. If so, arrest him. But I don't want him harmed until I get to the bottom of all this. Careful. The place may be booby-trapped and I want him alive. What else?
Yes, sir. The servants were all executed shortly before we arrived. Looks like a naval cutlass and a small-bore pistol. Looks like Corvo ran amok before he left.
Turn this building inside out. And it goes without saying, this area is sealed.
Stilt walkers at all points.
And stay vigilant. Corvo's the most dangerous man in the Empire now, and he has nowhere else to go.
Never thought he'd bother us again. I guess he holds a grudge.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? What? That might be worth checking out. Guards, watch out!
Wow, that killed like none of them. So. Does it always shoot at me, or is it just my imagination? Oh, they clear the shutter as well. Alright, we're getting in there. Just Vriska stuck. Everyone is Vriska. It's not how you stealth. Oh, and the short answer is that she's a character in Homestuck. One of those controversial characters in the series is. Trying to give you a potted summary of this Vriska would be kind of difficult. Because she. I guess I'd see me zipping them past my. Great. What are you shooting at? Oh, they're shooting at the door of Piero's building. They made the tall boy watch the other tall boy. Cunning.
It's refreshing to converse with someone on my own level.
I couldn't agree more. Your expulsion from the Academy was a crime against natural philosophy itself.
Which you might have pointed out at the time. But it's pointless to hold a grudge. I want to ask you.
About the elixir, yes. And I need to discuss your tonic. Why have you not tried the homeopathic solution?
And where am I to find the subjects? I can't recruit from prisons as you do. But it's forced me to work with another agent derived from...
The river crusts, yes. I'd guessed as much. But I think our approaches may reinforce each other. This is what we've been lacking thus far.
Wow, the two murder scientists are working together to solve the plague.
Cursed dreams were accurate. Conspiracy, just a nest of worms. All is falling to ruin, and even the great Piero's days are numbered as hounds.
Can't believe they didn't lock this door.
If only I had enough whale oil in here to set off a pyre equal to my brilliance.
Yeah, I figured.
Corvo, good to see that you still breathe. The city would not be the same if you were not with us.
He's awfully cheery for someone I threatened with rats.
Arc pylon, but only just.
With this device, we can send a powerful electrical signal through the nervous system, merely rendering our enemies unconscious, or they can be reduced to ashes. I've attuned it so that we will be safe from the functions of the device. It will only trigger in the presence of our enemies. This arc pylon is more powerful than the older design. It will function at a greater range, striking down our foes while ignoring us. I need my final sequence.
Okay, but you know, they do have things that are literally called tool boys.
Before the killing started. Return the blueprint to me. It was in his bedroom before he left. Hopefully, it's still there. You may navigate the fields of battle with police, but Sokolov and I are not as gifted in the same way. Without the arc pylon, it is only a matter of time before they put an end to us. We can get this device working, or you can go out and remove our enemies one by one, whichever you think is best.
I suppose more to the point, they also have the famous invention of the ladder, which could also get them through that door. But anyway, I'm not one to judge. It certainly suits my purposes.
We need that blueprint. With that, we can complete the job.
I'll do what you want, but ask quickly.
Ah, improved armor. So, we've got upgrades. We can get improved armor. An option. That'd be nice to have earlier. A bit late now. Otherwise, there is literally nothing to spend money on but ammunition, I guess. There we go.
Get that blueprint and we'll all be free of this place.
I see there's no reward for like ending the game with more money or anything. Okay. Oh well. I guess I might as well just not do it the slow way and just use the arc pylon. I think mostly for fun, you know. God, Brenda Bloodthirsty strikes again, I know. Havelock's office, right. Havelock's office is pretty easy to get to, so... Oh, for fuck's sake. I shot my darts as if teleporting because I didn't have a teleporter out. Yeah, to be honest, it's probably for the best that I don't have a skill modifier.
Why is no one making rounds over here? This better not be a joke.
It's going to be interesting playing through this game a second time non-lethally.
What? This better not be a joke.
Huh, good fall across the bars, yeah. Because I've got an upgrade that makes anyone I stealth kill disappear. It's a rune thing. I can probably upgrade that again. Okay. All enemies. I guess. Yeah, flame blast, okay. I figured it was something like that. Foos! Nice. Don't really have much use for it, but nice all the same.
Astonishing.
I only had to kill 3 people to get it. No, only 2 actually.
The arc pylon is complete. Now to activate it.
With this device, we can send a powerful electrical
I like how they've got this entirely pointless choice of kill or stun here.
Enemies unconscious, or they can be reduced to ashes.
What is your opinion, Corvo?
So, I mean, given this is the highest of high chaos playthroughs,
I should have guessed you'd want to act decisively. It's a simple adjustment, and we will be ready. All is ready, Corvo. All that remains is plugging in a whale oil tank to power it. Will you do the honor?
When this arc pylon is charged, no one will dare come near us.
Should we gather for whiskey and cigars?
like the last tank. If you destroy this tank. Oh no, there are more tanks. I'm wondering. I like how the tutorial segment at the beginning of the game is also how you win the game. Where did it go in? Is it supposed to? Oh, I see. Oh, is there going to be like a tower defense sequence or something? Oh, that sounded bad. I see. Oh, I only needed one anyway.
Amazing, simply amazing. Destruction on a grand scale. Defies description. So many lives silenced in an instant.
God, that's grim.
Well, Corvo, I hope we can be considered colleagues again. You were condemned, I was kidnapped. Men like us rise above such things. As to the good Admiral, I believe men such as Havelock start with high-minded intentions.
I threw you off a roof
Same
once.
with Martin, and maybe even Pendleton. though I suspect he was just lazy.
Damn it, now.
No one is prepared for the sheer seductive influence of being so close to real power. Once you start ordering people killed to get your way, everything else is mere detail. I return to my work now, and you to yours. Killing people, I mean. I sincerely hope it goes well.
I like sort of...
This Piero of yours, a strange mind. But then my own is strange as well. If there is a cure to the plague, I believe we will find it. The old Empress would have liked that. She was a strange one. Stranger, I think, than you ever knew. But such things are past. And
we once discussed a system of signals to be used in Emily's tower for communication across the river. I wonder if he remembers that.
Cut him off.
I wish you peace, Corvo, along with all the delights you can wring from the world.
Goodbye, Corvo. I wish to apologize for what was done to you. It seems that holding all the pieces and standing a step from the throne changed something in the others. Something I don't understand. Don't underestimate Havelock, Corvo. He'll be waiting.
Emily is still, you know, they're using Emily to legitimize their claim on the throne. Does the sequel canonically follow from the low chaos or the high chaos ending, I wonder? Or do they not resolve that? Or do they do a sort of Dragon Age or Mass Effect style thing where you choose? Yep, Emily does stab a large number of people in the sequel. In the sequel you get to play as Emily or Corvo, which is going to be fun. Okay. Let's find out then. I'm looking forward to this. Did it just disintegrate everybody? They're not even leaving bodies. Did it just despawn them from the map? Probably won't even count towards my kills. I guess. Well, there aren't any actual like piles of ash on the ground. Oh wait, here's a pile of ash. Okay, I see. Yes.
Hearts, the City Watch must announce the death of the Lord Regent Hiram Burrows.
Another opportunity to get a sword if you haven't got one yet.
And suffer no more.
I wonder if it's possible to complete the game without ever picking up a sword. I know you've got to pick up the sword early on, but a second sword. Or the sword after you like lose your sword. Right, I guess. What am I supposed to do now? Objective. Confront the loyalists, find Emily or any clue to her whereabouts, find Havelock or some clue to his plans. Okay, I guess that means going out to the offices again. Ah, okay, be on watch for members of the conspiracy. So still at large. If discovered, they are to be killed on sight. Move the bodies into the kennel, but they are not to be otherwise tampered with. Pierre Joplin, missing, interrogate then execute. Anton Sokolov, missing, interrogate then execute. Lydia, found dead. Wallace, found dead. Callista, found dead. Corvo, believed dead, assumed missing, kill on sight. Samuel Beechworth, missing, kill on sight. Samuel's still alive, interesting. Havelock's orders. Captain Manning, we've tracked the conspiracy to the Hound Pits pub. Search the premises for the natural philosophers Pierre Joplin and Anton Sokolov. Do what you must to secure all materials related to the enhanced arc pylon they have been constructing. Question them thoroughly, and once you are certain they have anything they know of the pylon, execute them both. Bring the pylon to me, along with his papers and recordings. They may be two of the greatest minds of our age, but they are also traitors who conspired with Corvo to bring down this empire. I'm keeping Empress Emily Cauldron with me at the lighthouse on Kingsparrow Island until we're certain that Corvo and his fellow conspirators have been properly dealt with. So, if they're going to interrogate Sokolov and Piero, surely they'd say kill them, don't give them a chance to speak or something. Ah, interesting. So it's canonically a low chaos run. How interesting. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. Let's get back into the building and check out the offices. Let's check out my bedroom again, I guess. A letter from Emily. Corvo, remember before when I mentioned a special drowning I was working on for you? This is it. Sorry, a special drawing, sorry. You talked about drowning, but... I don't know where you went, but I hope when you get back you see this and like it. I'd like to take it to Dunwall Tower with us. Everyone's acting strange tonight. Samuel was whispering to Callista about a flare launcher that she was supposed to use to cool him. He told her to lock the door to my old tower. I heard the Admiral tell the others we are leaving tonight for a place called the Lighthouse on Kingsparrow Island. I hope you get back before then. Same thing, right? Drowning, drawing. So, they're going to the lighthouse. Okay, I guess we'll leave the final mission for a future stream. I mean, we are getting 11:30. It's probably I've been streaming 3.5 hours. Did the letter mention where Emily's how to get back into Emily's tower? No, anyway, I'll figure it out another time. Thank you all for the stream, it's been really fun. And next time we'll stream the end of the game, which will be... Today's Tuesday, so it'll be Friday.